Who wants to guess?
Well, we'll just ask you, when she made that catch, from your vantage point, talk.
Oh my gosh, it was hit off the bat, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw Kendra was like, oh, that's caught. Like, every day that's caught. Like, there was absolutely no doubt that that was going over the fence. Like, wasn't going over the fence. I worded that very poorly. But, like, I had absolutely no doubt in my mind that that's not caught. Like, she was catching it in my mind.
No doubt in your mind.
Yeah, there was no doubt.
It's a lot of pressure on you, Ken.
I love Outfield, so I don't
Falby.
even think about it.
Do you have any idea how many home run saving catches you've made? Tim says 3, and then he said there are probably 4 others this year that were like borderline, and he said there are another 10 or 12 that were like spectacular.
Well, it's like interesting because I've never caught a ball over the fence until Texas A&M. Like, that was my first ever catch over the fence. And then like how it's kind of like multiplied, I'm like, wow, okay, this is fun. Because like I've never done it before. Like, I always dreamed of like doing that. Katie Kister always did all the cool ones, so I was like, I really want one. And then I went to Texas A&M and did the first one, and I like texted Coach Thomas that night, and I was like, hey, like that was my first ever over the fence that I've ever caught. And then it's just kind of like gone from there. But like, again, I can't do it without the people next to me, because I trust them like with everything in me to know that like they're talking to me, and then I also trust myself to know like the fence is there. Because like if I didn't have Corby in my ear telling me fence, that's a hard catch to make. I can't just do it by myself. So like, yeah, like I get the credit for catching it, but like I gotta give credit to Corby and Taylor, because like they make it happen too.
Do you practice scaling the fence from? Can you practice stuff like that?
Yeah,
like,
we practice it all the time. Like Coach Thomas will like be in center field and he'll hit us balls over the wall. We'll practice, and then we'll yell at each other and all the things. And it's like a competition.
They're pretty rowdy.
Yeah.
But you,
Like the infield wishes they were out there with us sometimes.
You know where the warning track is. Once you hit the warning track, you know there's fence. But do you need Corby to tell you fence? Because I mean.
Yeah, I mean it's still nice. Like it's like a simultaneous thing. Like she's saying it, but then like I also know too like where I'm at, because I count my steps from home or from second base. I have a number I count to like what my home position is on the home field. So then like when I go to other fields, that's my center point. So I always start at second, walk them off, and then I have a good vantage point of like how far I'm at from the fence.
So you know when you're assigned to play in a particular spot in the outfield against this hitter, you're marking it off with your steps. Is that what you're saying?
More like when I go to, like when we go to Athens this coming weekend, when we practice on the field, I'll start at second base. I'll count off my steps as to like where I would be at home, and then I have a good vantage point of like how far I am from the fence.
Have you always had like keen anticipation, like skills to anticipate? And what do you credit that to? I know you're from a family of athletes.
Yeah. Honestly, like my coach, like I have a coach, her name's Coach Stephanie. When I was young, like she just taught me the basic fundamentals of how to play in the outfield, and I've just kind of stuck with that. And it's nothing changes once you get older. Girls just get better at hitting. So it's like I just stick to my roots of like the ball's hitting the gap, you're going 2 bases ahead. Like just keeping it very simple and just making sure I hit my cuts, trust my teammates. Like don't try to overthink the outfield at all.
How much of a goosebumps moment was it for you that after you make the catch, the crowd is chanting your name in your last ever home game, regular season home game?
Wow.
What was that moment like to experience?
Awesome. It was awesome. And just any way I can help shift momentum the best I can. Like Keagan can't hear me like I wish she could, but like it's hard to hear when you're in the pitcher's mound. So if I can change momentum any way I can, I try to do my best to do that. And I felt it as I caught that. I was like, yep, like I can feel it. We're rolling in the right direction, and we were.
Keagan, does it almost help that yesterday and today these catches were, again, yesterday you weren't pitching at the moment time, but came at critical moments, both one-run games. I mean, how much does that help that not only is she making these catches, but they're turning points in the game? I mean, if that goes over the fence today, who knows the type of game that it is.
Yeah, I mean, like she said, like that's a big momentum shift, and especially as a pitcher, like you know that your defense is behind you, and you know that even if you can make a pitch that gets a ball out to them, like you know that you're set, and you know that you're gonna have an out behind you. And so like as a pitcher in general, like that's a really, really big thing, just knowing and trusting too that like your defense is behind you and your defense is gonna literally get anything that comes to them.
How big was just this series win for you guys? Is it for momentum going in, and also just for the program? I'm beating a #1 team in a series I don't think's ever happened in Florida, unbelievably.
I mean, I think it's huge, honestly, especially going into the postseason. Like, that's a big, big momentum. Like, it just them being who they are and us being, like, us and us just being the Gators and being us. Like, just knowing that, like, we can do it. Like, there's absolutely no doubt in any of our minds that we can do anything that we set our minds to. So just having the momentum going into postseason, I think, is huge in itself. And just being able to keep building the confidence in ourselves, too, to just know that, like, we're going to go far and that we can do it.
We were right there. Like, we've been right there. We were right there the whole month of April. And, like, I don't really care what anyone says. Like, we know in our hearts that we were right there so many different times. And it was just, like, waiting for that moment, waiting until, like, we really played as a team. And, like, this week you could just tell that, like, everyone was on the same page. I didn't do what I wanted to do at bat, but I made sure that I was still present and I was still there for my teammates, and other people were picking me up. And it was just, like, it was such a big team win this weekend. And it's so, we flipped the page, April's over. We're in May now, and it's go time. And we did that today, and I'm just so excited to see what this team does moving forward. Like, this was a huge weekend for us.
I wanted to ask your teammates as the whole weekend, but your superstitions. They said something, I don't know if you heard something about Carrabba's on the broadcast last week. Why, I guess, first? Why Carrabba's? Why by yourself? Where did that come from?
So before I would go to tournaments when I was younger, my mom and dad would always be like, got a carb up for the weekend. So we'd always go to Carrabba's. There's a Carrabba's like 5 minutes away from my house. So in like freshman year, freshman year is freshman year. And I was just like kind of feeling off, and my mom's like, you know what, you should go to Carrabba's. And I'm like, you're right. And she's like, do you want anyone to go with you? And I was like, no, I'll just call you on the phone. So I literally called my mom on the phone. I had my AirPod in, and they were eating dinner in Tampa, and then I was just eating dinner at Carrabba's. And it just became a thing. And people are like, you don't want anyone to go with you? I'm like, no, this is nice. Like, this is like my me time. Just not thinking about softball, not thinking about anything. Just eating my pasta, carbing up, and getting into the weekend. And everyone knows. They know. They'll be like, it's Carrabba's night. And I'm like, yep. Like this week I went on Wednesday because we played on Thursday. So it rotates. But all the Carrabba's people know what's going on too with Florida softball. So we got Florida softball fans at Carrabba's.
Do you have, you get the same thing every time?
This year it's been pasta and eggplant, Parmesan. And then it just depends on like what I'm feeling, but like that's been the go-to.
So, but it's kind of like the staff there knows who you are, and they know, and they know when you're coming in and everything.
Yeah, like my birthday, I got all Carrabba's gift cards. It was awesome. It was amazing. Like,
Keagan, what was your first thought when you heard about this tradition?
Oh, I thought it was great, honestly.
I feel like you guys aren't shocked anymore by
No.
anything that I do.
No, not at all. And we're like, oh, Carrabba's night. Is it? Do you have your normal server? And if like this week we were like, are you gonna get your same server? She's like, I don't know, maybe. But like, we thought it was weird at first, but it's like, that's her time. Like, we just know.
Kendra, I talked to you before the season started and asked, can you believe that you're going on your senior year? We talked about how it's flown by. Hell, that was 3 months ago, and you just played your last regular season series. You play with, how much joy do you get playing here? And we know how much joy you get playing the game, but how much joy do you get playing here, and how important is this to you really right now?
I love Gator Nation. Like, there's no better school to be at. And being here, and our fans showed out all weekend. Like, this was the place that you did not want to be if you were the other team. Like, just like the energy that they brought, and just they know how hard we work and how they stand behind us. And like, I love this school with everything in me.
They're chanting your name.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, Coach Wall, what do I do? He's like, you can wave, it's okay. So I gave a wave because in a game you're just locked in. So yeah, it's just amazing, and they're amazing, and I love this place, and I can't wait to see what we can do, what else we get to do here. Hoping that today's not the last game that we play here, that we'll get an opportunity to do it again, and just do it again with heart. And I'm just gonna play like it's my last game every single time, like what I've been doing all year. But I mean, Gator Nation travels too. That's the other big thing. So they'll come with us. So I'm not worried about that either. So still have a lot ahead of us. So I'm excited.
And then I wanted to ask about the other big play you had today, which was scoring on that wild pitch in the 6th inning. Is this just something where you see the ball leave the catcher's glove and you're just doesn't matter what you're going at that moment?
Yeah, that I tend to like kind of like not remember in the moment. Like it's all instincts. So like that. I just remember thinking, like, Reagan Walsh is up, like, if there's a line drive, like, you gotta freeze. So that's what I meant, because I didn't want to make a double play there. And then I saw the ball get away, and I was like, I'm going. Like, there was no hesitation, because it's like, how many times is someone gonna, like, run in your face like that? So I was like, all right, I'm going. And then I ended up scoring, and I was like, yes! Coach Walton will have that on film. I did good. He still might be like, what were you thinking there? I'll be like, I don't know. I just saw the ball down, and I was going the whole time, so.
He made it seem like the rest of you guys are kind of in symmetry with that, like,
Yeah.
you know.
He trusts me
Yeah.
for the most part. Sometimes I feel like you're making me scared a little bit.
Keagan, where do you think you are right now? You overall pitching right now, or going into the postseason? Where's your confidence level? How do you feel right now?
Honestly, it's been a lot better. Like, I think there's a upward trend for me. And just knowing that coming off this weekend, like, it's a huge one. It's a huge thing, like, for me and for our pitching staff. And just knowing that, like, we're all gonna get it done. And I know for me, like, coming off of my injury, like, confidence was a big thing just because I was out for a month, started conference play, and I was out for, I think, 2 series? I don't even know how long I was out, but, confidence was just a big thing for me. And just knowing that I was able to come back and throw the way I did against Alabama, and then again against LSU, I didn't think was bad either. It could have been better. And then again, just what is today? Saturday, Thursday, and today with Oklahoma. Like, I was happy with both my performances, but again, like, there's still a lot to work on. But again, for me, like, in my mental side of the game, like, coming back from everything, it has been a huge boost, and like, I feel like I'm taking small steps every day.
Kendra, were you always coming to Florida? I mean, being from Tampa, but I guess you moved down here from Canada? I mean, what's all that? Your dad moved from Canada.
I'm half Canadian. My dad's from Toronto.
Okay.
So then, I have dual citizenship though. So that's my Canada. I'm not from Canada. I'm from Tampa. No, I really didn't have my whole softball, like, I always played softball for fun. I never really grew up watching a specific person, and then I started watching more, and then Kelsey Stewart was kind of someone I looked up to. My mom's from Florida. My mom went to Florida State, so that was kind of like where I wanted to go. Funny how this works. So then I ended up here, and she loves it. I love it. Would never change it for the world. But I never really had like a dream school, which I think what makes this so much cooler, because like my story, I never had like a perfect vision of how this would all work out. So it's kind of worked out the way it has, which I think is really cool.
What do you guys anticipate this week in the SEC tournament? Tim came in and was like 7 losses for Oklahoma. I think someone was saying it's the most they've had in like God knows how long in a season. Just tells you how tough the league is.
Yeah, I think it's tough. Honestly, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't even looked once at the SEC tournament. I've been so like.
Well, no, but just what do you anticipate from the whole?
It's going to be crazy.
To win
for
to
sure.
try to win
like,
that
if you don't
thing.
have it on your TV, I don't know what else you're doing. Like,
Like,
it's gonna be crazy for
especially
sure.
with regular season, everybody literally beating up on everybody, and it coming down to like series between people this weekend for the outright. Like, I think that tells you something about the tournament.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
It's kind of nice to play Oklahoma or in front of your own fans versus when you got to play them in the World Series and there's 13,000
Yeah.
Zoom fans.
I will say though, sometimes it didn't feel like their fans were there. So
Uh-huh.
like, it felt like Gator Nation really just was like, yeah, no, it's us.
That's what's
So-
cool with you, right?
It's cool.
Keagan, talk about Ava in that moment, coming in for you, and then just in that moment, you know, Tim showing faith in her, letting her finish out that game. Just as someone who you've been along this journey with, you guys are both sophomores, just how happy were you for her in that moment?
So happy. It was huge for her. And I think just like helping her confidence too, just knowing that she can come in and shut a team down like Oklahoma the way she did last night and tonight. And then even like Thursday too, like that was awesome. Like that's huge for her, and I'm so insanely happy for her too, just knowing that like I can look at her and be like, I have your back, you have my back, and we have so much fun doing it together. And so I'm so happy for her and so incredibly proud of her too.
And she would probably maybe the most improved player on the team this year, definitely up there and hitting as well, you know, what she does at the plate. Is this something you anticipated? I guess it'd be for either one of you since she's a hitter as well. You guys anticipated heading into the season that she was going to take this leap this year?
I mean, I think everyone worked so hard. Like, I just know that like when something happens, it's like not even shocking, because it's like I see you work your butt off every single day. Like, it might not be your time then, but like your time's now, and like
it's
yeah,
coming.
like everyone works so hard. You can pull anybody from the bench, and it's just like it's really cool to see that.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you guys.